In the golden streets of Islamic Spain, a battle of ideas was raging. A battle between reason and revelation, between faith and philosophy. And at the center of it stood one man, a judge, a doctor, a philosopher, Ibn Rushd, known in the West as Averroës. He was the one who dared to answer Al-Ghazali, the one who said, reason is not the enemy of faith, it is its companion. Tonight, we enter the world of Andalus, where knowledge flourished and where its last great light will rise. This is the story of Ibn Rushd, the defender of reason. Ibn Rushd was born in 1126 CE in Cordoba, in present-day Spain, then part of the Islamic Caliphate of Al-Andalus. His family was scholarly and respected. Both his father and grandfather were judges. Young Averroës studied fiqh, kalam, medicine, astronomy, and most of all, philosophy. Cordoba at the time was a beacon of multicultural brilliance. Muslims, Christians, Jews, all learning, all debating, all seeking wisdom. By his mid-30s, Averroës had become a judge, a court physician, a philosopher, and soon a bold voice for Aristotle. While many Islamic philosophers were inspired by Plato, Ibn Rushd was unique. He was devoted to Aristotle. He wrote extensive commentaries on nearly every one of Aristotle's works: metaphysics, ethics, politics, physics, logic. He wrote 3 versions of most commentaries: short for beginners, middle for students, long for scholars. His clarity and depth earned him the title the commentator. To Averroës, Aristotle's logic wasn't a threat to religion, it was a tool for understanding divine truth. He said, truth does not contradict truth. If both religion and reason are true, then they must ultimately agree. Earlier, Al-Ghazali had shaken the world with his book, The Incoherence of the Philosophers. He accused thinkers like Avicenna of promoting heresy and undermining Islam with foreign logic. Many philosophers grew silent, but not Averroës. He wrote, The Incoherence of the Incoherence. Line by line, he responded to Al-Ghazali. He argued, philosophy is not foreign. It is a method, a way of seeking truth. Revelation tells us what to believe. Philosophy helps us understand why. He saw no contradiction between revelation and reason, the Quran and Aristotle, faith and logic. This made him controversial, especially among more conservative scholars, but also deeply influential, especially in the West. One of Averroës' most debated ideas is what later came to be called the double truth theory, though he never used that term. It's the idea that religion and philosophy can both be true, even if they seem to conflict. To the common people, revelation is enough, but the learned must seek deeper truths through reason. He believed there are 3 levels of knowledge: rhetorical for the masses, dialectical for theologians, demonstrative for philosophers. Truth, he claimed, must be examined according to the ability of the seekers. Averroës believed in the unity of the active intellect, a universal mind that connects all human understanding. When we learn or reason, we connect to this higher intellect, a shared divine knowledge. This was influenced by Aristotle, but interpreted mystically. Some saw this as denying individual immortality, but Averroës argued that the soul's true eternity lies in its unity with its intellect. Averroës also wrote about ethics, the information of virtue's character, politics, the role of law in shaping society. He believed the ideal society promotes rational education. Law must reflect both divine revelation and reason. And like Aristotle, he trusted moderation as the path to virtue. Ironically, Averroës' greatest influence wasn't in the Islamic world, but in Christian Europe. His commentaries were translated into Latin and studied by Thomas Aquinas, Albertus Magnus, Siger of Brabant. In medieval universities, he was called the great commentator. His ideas sparked fierce debates in Paris and Bologna. Some Christian theologians feared him, calling him a heretic, yet others saw him as a bridge between Greek philosophy and Christian theology. Averroës lit the fire of Renaissance rationalism long before it had a name. In his later years, Averroës faced opposition. In 1195, he was exiled from Cordoba by conservative rulers. His books were burned, his influence in the Islamic world faded. He died in 1198 CE in Marrakech, Morocco, but centuries later, Europe would rediscover him. His works preserved Greek thought through the Dark Ages. His ideas challenged theologians, inspired humanists, and helped birth modern philosophy. Ibn Rushd stood firm when reason was under attack. He believed faith and philosophy are not enemies, they are companions in the search for truth. He bridged civilizations, Arab, Greek, Christian, Jewish. He wrote in a time of fear, but his words planted seeds for freedom. And even when his books were burned, his ideas burned brighter still. Next time we cross into Europe's rising dawn and meet the thinker who tried to balance heaven and earth, Thomas Aquinas. Until then, reason bravely, question deeply, and never stop seeking the light.